And welcome back to I Can't Believe This Is a Podcast, episode number 7. Gentlemen, and I am joined by some gentlemen here. We have Chimik,
Hi.
Soy Boy, and Rojo.
Yep.
Did you guys want to assume my gender right now?
Are you here? Are you not here? I mean, choose one, because I'm not... if I'm going to be assuming anything, we need to start at the baseline.
No,
am I assuming that you're even here?
He's the femme soy boy now. He's the one who got
femme
in 3 times. Yeah.
Femme boy for short.
Soy
yeah.
femme boy.
Yeah.
I probably should have let you guys attach your voices to your names, but how you guys doing? It's been 2 weeks-ish.
It's been a while.
For some of us, it's been a little longer. Yeah.
I work for my nap, so I'm not here yet, but I'll be here later.
Heard.
All right. He summons his self.
I'm alive. I don't know.
Awesome.
I was putting the most recent. Oh shit. Soy Boy, have you seen the most recent cover that we did, the Silent Hill episode?
Actually, I saw it today.
Oh, you did. What'd you think?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Actually,
did you like you and your little pumpkin outfit? It's funny, wasn't it? Yeah, we're trying to restructure things a little bit, add in some stuff so the thumbnails are a little different. For me though, I've been up to no good adding into my Catherine animation. I'm pretty far along with all that stuff, but yeah, aside from that, how you been doing? What about you, Soy Boy? You've been living,
working. Yeah, gaming and working. The life of a gamer nowadays, I guess. But I haven't been doing much actually. Actually, most of what I've been doing is working on my bot on Discord. I wanted to the library I use for my bot is an old one, so I have to rewrite most of the code with a new library. That's all I've been doing this entire week is just that.
Oh, cool.
Is that's the bot that's on our own Discord?
Yeah,
as well,
yeah, that's
right?
the quote one.
All right, nice.
What about you, Rojo? Rojo, oh shit! Wait.
As was previously mentioned before the podcast started, I've been slowly but surely getting those creative juices flowing again. As Chimik roasted me for saying, but no, I've been working more on my photography now. But my name's Rojo, by the way.
It's been a while. That's valid. It's been a while.
But yeah, no, I've been working on my photography more. I mean, getting into some more photo shoots, doing some more edit work, just doing a little bit of freelance stuff too on the side. You know, making sure the skills stay sharp.
Poggers.
It's been a minute since you've been on the podcast.
I feel like I've only missed one podcast though.
It's been a minute. No, I'm kidding.
Rojo,
well, you missed a minute.
What
is the episode you're on is our highest viewed episode.
Yeah.
Episode number 4.
Yeah, so you better get the same metrics, motherfucker.
Oh, you know exactly why we got so many fucking views, right? It's because of beans.
Yeah,
it's the man.
Is this another bean special? Are we calling it the bean special?
Bean special.
Different food. Surely there are other canned goods out there.
Yeah, whatever.
We can do artichokes. Gentlemen, I want to talk about something, and then I think Chimik wants to talk about something, and then there's a big something we got to talk about, known as the Video Game Awards.
Holy shit! We should make a podcast.
We should. And if we were to do a podcast, I would love to start off with the topic of God of War Ragnarok and its goddamn infuriating non-optional.
Boo. He has bad things to say about Game of the Year. Boo.
That's really simple. It's just that they should turn off. They should let me turn off the automatic hints when you walk into a room and you see a puzzle and the character immediately solves it for you in the blink of an eye. That's all I wanted to say. It'd be nice if that was an option. Sony Santa
You wasted 20 seconds of my life for that.
And you wasted like the first 3 recordings of this episode. Why don't you
shit happens
together? A lot of bad blood going on right now. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of anger behind the scenes. I just want to emphasize
stop
this.
Posting in the Discord. You think the audience can see it?
Posting what?
I think Juice
Wait, I have to describe these all verbatim now. I have to translate these pictures into words
because you brought it up.
Yeah, well, okay, here we go. So here's picture number 1. Rojo posts this shit post. It's a cyanide and happiness looking kind of motherfucker with a sock puppet, and he's saying, "You liar! Just for that, I'm coming in you." Okay, maybe this was a bad idea.
No, continue. Keep going.
Go on.
Okay, the second shit post is from Shimik, and it's like Sonic, but Sackboy from Little Big Planet dressed up as Sonic, and he's like screaming as he looks at it like an eldritch god or something. And then below it, Shimik has gracefully captioned for us in case we lack inferencing power. He says, "This above is me coming." And then below that is a picture of a cat in a box full of Dakimakura pillows with a surprised look on his face. And then below that, Soyboy has posted a picture with Confucius doing his classic wisdom stare. And it says, I cannot believe I'm about to say this. It says, "Ming Dynasty pussy got me acting unwise."
Got him acting unwise.
Shit, it do, dude.
And with that, any further pictures you post, feel free to read them yourself. I'm not doing that. That was a mistake. I'm sorry.
No, that was actually perfect. Thank you.
That was amazing. Couldn't have been better.
We should do a
Wait,
for
Chim,
Christmas, we should do a
what was the
fireside
game
reading.
you wanted to talk about?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's all I have
you
for
know
God of
me.
War.
I always talk about fuck God of War. I always want to talk about this. I love how we're like 7 minutes into recording, and like we
Pretty
spent at least 30 seconds on God of War, and we were like, anyways. That game is fucking massive from everything I see. I don't own it. I've seen clips. I've been spoiled on it, and it looks pretty big. It's looking good.
If you guys want me to actually do a little dive in it, I'll be more than happy to. But really, the only thing on my mind is every time I walk into a new room, either Atreus or Mimir is like, "Brother, have you tried throwing your stupid big axe at the obviously marked puzzle element, brother?"
Well, okay, but
It's so angry.
riddle me this, Jules. Is it worse than Horizon? Because Horizon was notoriously bad for it.
Yeah, it is, because you can pretend that that's part of like Aloy's inherent disability or something.
Yo, what's going on, big guy?
So the way that they have it in Horizon is actually it's not, how do I put it? So the same thing happens where she'll keep remarking like, "I bet if I did this, and then this happened, and then this," and like you just got there as the player, and you're just sitting there listening to Aloy go, "And then if I did this," and then she solves the whole thing for you, and you're just sitting there wishing you could play the game like a game. But the difference is the I guess you call them puzzle rooms in Horizon Forbidden West are not mandatory content, and there's few enough of them across the open world that you're more likely to go hours in between each of those puzzle areas. And so when it does happen, it's like, oh, that's annoying. But the last time it happened was like, 7 hours ago. So it's not like God of War where it's just bit after bit, room after room, puzzle after puzzle, especially in the beginning. It's just Atreus or Mimir or Frey or whoever, other characters saying like, "Oh, Kratos, have you tried, sticking both the blades of chaos right in your ass and then lighting them on fire and screaming really loud and attracting one of Ravens from Odin's arms, and then that creates the thingy, and that does like, shut the fuck up."
We actually are talking about Ragnar, right? Not just his fantasies.
I want to play the game. I want to play the game.
We were
I
talking about
swear, I
Garfield's
feel
Destiny.
like Garfield. Lasagna's got nothing to do with this, but it sure feels like it's a Monday.
Holy
every
shit.
day,
This game.
every day I play Ragnarok, it feels like a Monday.
Every day, every day I ask, "Oh, so you got God of War, huh, Jules?" And then like he sends me paragraphs of, "You know what I really think."
So the big issue that I hope I'm just reading into it too deep is that's 2 Sony first-party games within the same year that have the same problem, and it's not optional. You can't disable it. And I'm worried that they're going to keep doing this. Like, for all genres, it depends on what the genre is, right? But for like a rated M for mature third-person action adventure game, it's like, you think that the audience buying your game would be smart enough to throw the big axe at the big, clearly marked wheel and figure that out on their own, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Never.
by all means,
Never has that.
This is an
Exactly.
issue as old as time, man. I mean, look at Ocarina of Time.
well, yeah, it was.
Look at
it was in
Nintendo's
Ragnarok. That
big
was a long
red
time ago.
eyes,
Yeah.
This is an old issue. This is never gonna really change. I mean, like there's ways of going around it. I mean, Jules and I were talking about the Star Wars games, the little Lego Star Wars games. They're really cute. And if you have an issue with direction and it's always pointing an arrow somewhere for you to run around in, you could just disable it. But obviously you can't disable commentary on where to throw your big fat axe in God of War. So
Medea's big Christmas axe. The problem,
your big dumpy of an axe.
I should turn my gain down. I'm clipping. The problem is not that it's always been a thing, but rather that it's entering these genres of game where it just was never needed and it wasn't before historically. And there are, on top of that, examples of games where you could make it completely optional. Opt-in hints. I think The Last of Us did it in 2013, where if you needed a hint, there was like a triangle would show up above a character and you hit the triangle button and they go, Joel, have you tried throwing the ladder up your ass and screaming really loud and attracting Odin's raven so the Ragnarok could happen? Like, but it gave you the choice, which is the difference.
And, I don't remember that from Last of Us.
I played The First of Us. I think it was a different game. If you look at this YouTuber, I like to watch his stuff. Game Maker's Toolkit. He does a bunch of sort of videos about game design, and he even embarked on his own game development quest. So he's a well-rounded channel for this sort of discussion. He just put up a video about exactly what we're talking about, and it basically boils down to it's totally fine if you can opt in, if it's optional, and on top of that, if it's opt in rather than opt out, depending on the genre. Like if it's a kids game, then it's probably going to be opt out, right? But if it's like a mature game, like, come on. I get it. Game Maker's Toolkit also mentioned this. God of War 2018 did gangbusters. It sold massively. So I'm sure that Sony Santa Monica expected that their second game would have a massive outreach, including people who, let's face it, were not, rated M for mature. Like, you got these kids who get the game from their parents or whatever. So, like, no matter what the ESRB says, everyone's playing God of War Ragnarok right now. I get that. Just make it opt-in, because it's not like, oh, I'm upset because I couldn't prove my brain is utterly fucking huge. It's it's just really annoying.
Well, everyone's playing God of War Ragnarok, especially those who hate it.
Mainly.
Sure feels that way.
Well, hey,
for me at least.
We're on the topic of games that are actually popping up on the upcoming video game awards, right? Ragnarok being one of the bigger ones, right? It's actually the biggest award. You can get the best game of the year. Pretty late in though. Came out in November, right?
The cutoff is halfway through November. That's still not a lot of time. That's like VGAs are happening when? When was it, Jules? December the 8th. Are you suggesting recency bias?
I suggest recency bias, but I suggest that that's just not enough time to let a whole thing ingrain. I don't know. I'm part of the, or at least like
the problem. Yeah.
That's exactly.
I am the situation.
I don't know. I think that there needs to be some like semblance of time. I don't think that like a month is enough, if you ask me. For it to all like, I mean, like look at what it's comparing itself to. If you go into the Game Awards, you can already vote, right? Game of the Year is going to be competing, like Ragnarok is going to be competing with Elden Ring, Plague's Tale, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I almost said Xenogears, Horizon Forbidden West, and Stray of all games.
And Stray of all things.
And Stray.
Oh my god!
If you ask me,
I love that.
It would be insane if Stray won. I think it would be a big W for like smaller. I mean, Annapurna is making some massive games. Don't get me wrong, but it's not of the budget of a Sony Santa Monica, or of a From Software. But it's not as good either. I like it, but it's not as good. No, I mean it doesn't have the budget, but it's. I mean. It's also what was it, like a 3-hour game, like a 5-hour game?
It's a little. It's like 6.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
no, but you get a lot.
One of the strong suits.
It's quality, not quantity. It's bang for your buck. But then on the other hand, depending on who you ask, Elden Ring is all fucking quantity. I don't know. I quite liked Elden Ring. Would I say it's game of the year? No. Is it gonna win it? Probably.
Okay. Let's cut. So, Rojo, I know you've played Elden Ring because we both got it at the same time. You've played it.
I bought it.
Oh, sorry. I'll edit that out.
I bought
sorry,
it.
but I don't know if.
But I did not. I played it like maybe the first 10 minutes, and I was like, "It's pretty good." And then you were like, "What you said to me?"
You bought it?
Well, yeah, I bought it, and I was playing like a mage build thing, and you were like,
Okay.
"Yeah, man, never play melee. It's too hard." And I said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna make a melee class now," and I just never have. That's I suppose I've gotten into it, but I've seen a little bit here and there. Obviously, I forgot the boss's name that starts with an M, but like became very famous for being like really hard or whatever.
Was it Miyazaki by any chance? Chimik, what about? I know that you cheated. Did you actually play it like legitimately?
Elden Ring? Yeah, all the way through.
Yeah.
It's
hold on. Legitimately?
No, not legitimately. No.
It's like no.
So, audience,
no way.
There's two things that I can't do in games anymore. I'd be willing to, but it's for me. It's two things. It's like a mental commitment and a time commitment. I think Persona 5 legitimately was the last game that I was willing to like do. God, what is it called? The
crunch. Not the crunch, but the
style
grind?
of game, the Pokemon. Yeah, the grinding, but it's all the Pokemon style game. The what is it called, Jules?
Grinding?
No, the
RPG?
style of game. It's like
I don't know. What are you
Pokemon.
talking- JRPG?
No.
what the fuck are you
Turn-based.
talking about?
Turn-based combat.
Oh, turn-based.
Turn-based,
Well, I mean, they're almost
turn-based
synonymous.
grinding, and I think when it comes to like Elden Ring specifically grinding, I know Jules has like his special occasion he was telling me about, and I believe it. It's just not in me anymore. So I very much prefer. I'm just, for anybody that I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before in podcasts that we've released, but for me, I am a massive fight fan. I play all the Tekkens. I play. Not a big fan of Street Fighter, but 6 can change my mind. I did quite like Third Strike, of course. I can't find a single person that doesn't like fucking Third Strike. And UFC, but we don't talk about that. That's an addiction. I say that as my girlfriend is staring at me. Even she knows.
You play an EA game voluntarily? Cringe.
No, it's legitimate. Look, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna get roasted. Moving on. Look,
And yet here you are.
Yes, here you are.
Look, with the context of all this, I very much prefer skill-based games. Elden Ring, same as every other FromSoft game. You can 100% just be a level 1, fight your way through. I'm just bad. I used to be really good specifically at Dark Souls 1, but I'm just not that anymore. I'm not that guy. Trust me, I'm not that guy.
Which is crazy to me because it's harder, at least for me, after playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, which are my favorites from software. Like going back to Dark Souls 1, it's just like
it's the best. It's my favorite.
Rip my hair out.
DS1 is my absolute favorite, all the way through. There's some things that definitely by the time you get to Elden Ring, especially Bloodborne, like gameplay wise, it's improved, because how can you not improve from a game that came out in like 2011?
Well, that's what I thought until I played Elden Ring, and the input lag was like almost twice as long as any other FromSoft game in their entire history.
And the whole thing on PC where, once you turn off your game, you have to start from 0 with your frame rate.
Yeah, the whole compilation. They fixed it, but at launch, the shader compilation was...
It was a big stinker. But the
legitimately insane.
The point I was going to make is, for Elden Ring, no, I downloaded a mod where I played exclusively offline, and if I was getting my just cut the diamond in the rough, getting my ass rammed too hard in the game,
That's why they call it Elden Ring.
That's why we call it Elden Ring. I had increased my character's level so that my skill set fit whatever mode I was playing. Rivers of the Blood, all that garbage before the patch, and played it offline, had a really good time, but it's just not for me anymore. I don't know. I think it'll win Game of the Year award. Honestly, as I'm scrolling through the list, the only one that I really want to see win, and it's a game that I haven't even played, is Cult of the Lamb. That's a big one, and Tunic. I want to see Tunic do really well.
Tunic?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Tunic do really well.
Off.
I want to see Diablo Immortal do really. I can't even be serious.
Yeah, me too. Hey, again, much like anything that goes on with Activision Blizzard or at this point Bethesda, the people in charge unfortunately get your money, but fortunately, the people who put their blood, sweat, and piss into the game also get your money. And Diablo Immortal as a game, as a mobile game no less, is really good. I would recommend that you play it for free, ideally on a burner phone, and when you're done and you hit the max level, that's when they start shoving all the MTX, the microtransactions down your throat. Just delete it. Yeah. You're done.
But
that's what I did. I had fun.
I was just gonna say, beyond all that stuff, what I do really want to see win is, honestly, I was just mentioning it. I do want to see Stray get something at the very least. They've done a fantastic job.
They'll probably get like indie debut.
They'll probably get Game of the Year. I want to see Tunic do really well. That was a one-man team. I would like to see, like, most anticipated game, you know, for whatever that's worth. Like, I would like to see Final Fantasy 16 win that, but if it's like, if other things have to factor into it, it's Resident Evil 4. But my absolute biggest one that I really am excited to see do well is Live Alive. It's a Square Enix game all the way back from the 90s, gotten I think the Square Enix patented HD, what is it called? The Square Enix HD remaster or something.
The pixel art, but in a 3D space.
Yeah. It's great. It really is solid, and it's in the category for best role-playing game. But the problem is that it's competing with Elden Ring. So if Live Alive doesn't get it, I do hope Triangle Strategy. But if I'm being honest, Elden Ring is going to win a lot of awards. That's my take. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to, like with every VGA, any games that have not been like revealed as of late, or at the very least leaked as of late. I mean, that's a big deal. But you know, I really am looking for more HD 2D remakes of games. I feel like if there's a lot of the things that we're really looking forward to are straight up just on the games that are the category of most anticipated games. They're already there, with the exception of Silent Hill 2, but you already know my opinion on that. And like, whether through leaks, whether through actual reveals, I feel like we've gotten everything we've wanted out of that, at least from what I'm looking at. But I really am looking forward to see what Square Enix is going to push with HD 2D. I think the concept of bringing, you know, they did try with the Final Fantasy series, $20 a pop. I thought that was ridiculous, but they tried with the God, I forgot what it is even called, but it was the most recent remastered releases, and deleting all the previous ports, calling the newest ones the better editions. And if they could do something that you know, the Octopath team has been doing, and on the same vein of like what Live Alive and Triangle Strategy is like brought forth with that, I'm game. I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen with the HD 2D and yeah, all that shit.
Yeah, I remember what you said reminded me of the situation in 2020 where the
situation
keyword happened, and then like the whole world went on hiatus, and there was a possibility that Sonic would win the Oscar for Best Animated Film.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy VII Remake would win Game of the Year because no other game was out before the keyword happened.
No.
I'd just be curious if is it Live Live? Liver? Be curious if Square Enix's Liver wins anything.
You know, I think that because it really, if I'm remembering correctly, it really is only in one category, that being the role-playing game. That will definitely go to Elden Ring. I don't expect much from, the Game Awards judges. Sorry. I really don't expect a lot of like that kind of willingness to get out of there. But I mean, I've been wrong before. I'd be happy to be wrong again. But what I will say is, like, it's a guarantee Sifu is winning best fight. I mean, it's up there against King of Fighters and TMNT, right?
JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. but more importantly, it's up against Multiverses, which, I mean, come on, guys. It's the best game of the world. Sifu's definitely going to win something. It has to. Too many people played it.
Anyone, and a lot of them were bound to either PlayStation or the Epic Game Store because it had so much exclusivity surrounding it. It was console exclusive, still is console exclusive to PlayStation consoles, and it was Epic only. Still is Epic only. And you know how true hardcore gamers are about that. Get it where you can, folks.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. Says the guy who owns a PlayStation 5.
Now he does.
You guys,
I want to talk about one thing before we leave the topic of Stray behind, and it is that
it's just about Stray.
Yeah, but it's just
While
one
we
thing.
stray the stray.
It's all Stray.
It was Jules's review that he posted a long time ago. Which all it says is it is the world's first Stray type game, and I love that.
That was good.
For that reason alone, I need Stray to win something at VG.
Really.
So speaking of what Shimei kind of brings this up, especially with God of War Ragnarok, is this idea of recency bias and how ideally the awards would happen like, you know, the cutoff would be like mid-November, and then the actual awards themselves would happen January or something, or even like later in December, which isn't feasible because you know what I mean, just later. And so for that reason, I went back and actually played Stray because in my mind it was like I really enjoyed it, and then I just completely forgot about it. And not the reality is there are a couple of key factors for why I think it's in running for Game of the Year. One, the actual game itself, aside from some slight PC technical issues, it's wonderfully well made across like every single facet. The visuals are gorgeous, the art direction is gorgeous. What quote unquote voice acting there is really cute and like leaves a very sort of impressionable sort of characteristic for each character, including the cat because of the meowing, right? The animation for the cat is astounding. Is a bit of a that's a bit of a word, but it is effortless to the point where it just looks like a cat on your screen instead of like, you know, typical video game cats where they stop in a place, they turn 90 degrees, they walk in a straight line, they stop, they like sniff the dirt, they turn 90 degrees, you go and you pet them, they like glitch and your game crashes. In Stray, it's really well done animation. I don't remember if they use mocap or not, but mocap.
Yeah, they do.
For the cat?
They put little white balls on the cat.
Is this the new they perform surgery on a grape?
Yep.
White balls.
They did mocap on a cat.
No,
and
it was Andy Serkis.
They got kitty licking physics.
It was Andy Serkis. That's a good take, actually. The story is actually really solid, which is not what anyone was expecting at all from Cute Kitty Game. The story is not, you know, some deep philosophical thing, but it's another example of an indie game that knows that they're not going to be able to shoot for the heights of like, you know, God of War or even the sort of subtle storytelling of something like Elden Ring. So they just say they do something that's like close to home, just delivers on emotions that we can all relate to, except you view everything from the lens of a cat. And I think that it really elevates the experience because, I mean, you're going through these levels that you've seen a million times before in a setting that you've seen a million times before, no less, which is, you know, cyberpunk. But the difference is when you go by the thrift store, you're walking like in the gutter and you're looking up at the door handle. You know what I mean? And when you go, like when you go into the trash can, I mean, for Christ's sake, you go into the trash can, right? What other game lets you go into the trash can?
Bad.
That's all I'm saying.
Resident Evil
So
4.
it's just shut up. The change of perspective does more than I think I was maybe prepared for. Like I really, when it came out, I was expecting to play a cute game about cat that was similar to like Abzu or Journey. But the perspective really does change a lot, especially because the city itself that Stray takes place in is based off of the Kowloon Walled City, which was that Hong Kong demilitarized, no police zone in the 90s. And it's really dense and super, super vertical, which is this perfect playground for, you know, an animal like a cat. And so there's this sense of verticality in Stray that you don't really get in other games, period. The closest I can think of, at least, is maybe some levels in some immersive sims like Deus Ex and Dishonored and Assassin's Creed Unity. Just the sheer like density of a city environment.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like for all the reasons I listed, the unique perspective, the density of the city, the incredible animation work, and the story that's actually really well delivered, I think it makes total sense that it's in running for Game of the Year. On top of that, I think that they also hit a cultural zeitgeist. Like they hit a nerve, in the same way that maybe Among Us did or Animal Crossing's New Horizons did. In that it's just, it's a game about cat, and there's a dedicated meow button, which is such a super like Instagrammable kind of like social media sort of thing. And I mean, don't underestimate cat people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's there, and I think it's deserving of it.
As long as you think that, I think that's what matters.
Yeah, I'm just
it is the
glad
world's
you
first
think
straight type game.
Yeah, I'm glad that you came out as a cat femboy.
Finally.
Thanks, babe. But do you guys want to look through the other categories? No pun intended.
Yeah, what do you have?
worth it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think out of everyone here, I'm the worst at VGAs because I don't even know any of the categories at best game of the year. That's
whether or not you are the worst is determined by whether or not Destiny 2 is in for best ongoing support.
Oh, that's so funny. That one, and they also got best community. Yeah, no, they're in that one, and I think they're also in best community, whatever. I forgot what it was called. It was another community.
What do you think, Soy Boy? Are you in the best community?
I don't know. I'm on the fence about it, to be honest. Because like I feel they at least to give it to Destiny's, to put to give them some credit, they at least talk to the community on an often basis. But on the other hand, most of what they talk is dumb bullshit. So like it doesn't really matter at the end. Sometimes, well, every now and again they'll post something worthwhile reading that actually is about like making the game better or having to restructure something. Besides that, it's just some dumb bullshit. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Sounds like what? Say it. Say it with your chest, little bro.
I'll say it. I'll say it. You know what? You know what award Soy Boy deserves?
What?
Oh,
okay. Innovation and accessibility.
Fuck you. God of War is pretty much destined to win that. I don't know if you guys have checked out the accessibility options. For some reason, missing the ability to turn off hints. But aside from that little thing, that's just a nitpick, surely. It does have an industry leading accessibility menu. If you guys, just anyone, audience, take the time to just type in God of War Ragnarok. If you're not playing it, God of War Ragnarok accessibility options, whatever, it is bananas just how many variables you can change in that game. Yeah.
Does it make your controller feel like Kratos?
Doesn't make me feel any smarter when I solve those godforsaken puzzles, I'll tell you that much.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe they needed Jules' accessibility slider.
Yeah, they just give me the accessibility version of the game. It's rated E for just you.
No, it's a slider that says, "Oh, you're playing God of War for the puzzles." Okay, yeah, okay.
the whole thing, including the okay, yeah part too.
It's like a written formal email. God of brain. God of thinking. With the sniffle. What else is there?
Best VR, Among Us. Let's go, baby.
Among Us VR, yes.
Among Us VR has to win.
Rojo,
yes.
You want to tell the audience the experience that was the 2021 VGAs?
Oh, gladly. Last VGAs, Jules and I had a watch party, like an impromptu watch party, I do say. I don't think we planned on watching it together, but we ended up watching it together. And obviously some of the ads are for upcoming games. And we were watching them, shitting on them as we do. And then one of them came up, and we did not know for the life of us. I think Jeff Keighley hyped it up. It's from one of the most ambitious game studios out there. Their last game was so fucking fire. It's I was like, oh my god, is it Supergiant's Giant's next game? And then we just see this.
Can't believe it.
And then it's I can't believe that it was clearly a VR POV, and then the main player turns around and it's just a red Among Us character Like
his hand, it's just this big human-like hand rapidly going towards the POV camera to like throttle the life out of them, and then it immediately cut to black and said Among Us VR, and Rojo and I laughed so hard that we don't remember the rest of the show. It's still up there. Type in like Among Us VR reveal trailer 2021 or something. It's the way they cut it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
And they really.
I'm gonna look it up
said
right
it.
now.
All right. Is that came out though, right? Is that in the running for?
Yeah, it's in the running for Vest VR AR. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, it is.
I wonder what else is in VR AR. I'm a little curious.
It's After the Fall, Bone Lab, Moss,
Bone
Book
Lab's
2,
winning.
and Red Matter.
Bone
2.
Lab's winning though.
Bone Lab's winning.
What is Bone
Yeah.
Lab?
Would have to agree.
Bone Lab? Oh
Anything
shit!
you want
It
it
is
to be in more?
it is a playground for VR shit. So like shooting, stabby stabs. The only thing it's
that's
not really
cool.
great for, especially when you compare it to Fight of the Night, which is a boxing VR sim, really good. Is manual combat. It is not good for punchies, but
for gunplay, it's pretty good.
it's really solid. There's a lot of shit you can do accessibility, like customize wise. One of my favorite, I think it was called Pavlov VR. That's the one that set the standard for like, what is it?
That
Like
was like
gunplay in VR for me.
Go.
Yeah,
Kind of. Yeah.
Pavlov has really, really upped the ante with like customizability with shit that you can do. But besides that, but the thing that I think that sets Bone Lab apart from anything else is how it's. I need to look into this so I can give you the correct thing, but I know that there's a lot of Bone Lab mods, and there is a Bone Lab Unity hub. So basically, there is an SDK, an SDK package through Unity where you can literally, it gives you all the tools you need right when you set up a project specifically for Bone Lab, and that's why there's a Metal Gear Solid 1 Bone Lab mod, which just I don't know how far it goes or how large it is like as a game, but I know that it's got all the assets in there, all that stuff, and it's really solid. But anybody can really make their own Bone Lab levels, and I can't even remotely say the same for other games. Some other games they just like you just have no access to. They don't. There's no developer friendly support, and you see that kind of change in Bone Lab, which I think is pretty solid. I think is nifty.
Can you back up to the part where you said Unity? It runs in Unity?
Bone Lab runs in Unity.
Yes.
Now, it's ironic how this happens when Shimi Soiba and I started working on our game. I think I just kind of dropped the ball on keeping up with Unity. Do people still shit on Unity and say, bah, bad engine? Or like, has that finally stopped? Because...
No, it's what it... I can tell you exactly what it is. It's not the trademark for really anything anymore. Godot has replaced it as the 2D game engine. It really has. Godot being open source 100%. You keep every bit of royalty that you make. You don't owe anything. And just how quick it is to make a 2D game, it really is the preferred choice of 2D games right now. And then for 3D, there is an optimization issue for sure in Unity. I think that their HDRP pipeline, high definition rendering pipeline, is really solid. You see that in the upper echelons of what they use when they use like 4D volumetric data for the Heretic and Atom and all this stuff that we kind of aim to do, but we don't have the money to actually do it within our studio, within what we're trying to do. But like, still, Unreal is king for 3D. It really is. So people don't shit on it anymore. People realize that, it's kind of what we were talking before, like a while ago, Jules. We were talking about like every engine seems to have its purpose. Unity kind of lost its purpose. I can't lie. Unity has, with Godot taking that reign as the 2D one, I think it's more of that as an issue. I don't know. If anybody's listening that does Unity, please feel free to shoot me in the head. But like, like I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of things that Unreal has upped the ante in, and Godot has upped the ante in their respects.
It should be made very, very clear that we're talking about like pushing the boundary of the actual, like PBR kind of realistic type rendering. Because as far as stylized rendering goes, Unity, I mean, just play Risk of Rain. That's a 3D game that'll run as fast as your computer can cry, like, and it runs beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's in Unity. Obviously, a developer, if I am wrong, shoot me in the head right after. And then this podcast will become very different very fast.
I figured out our thumbnail. It's just going to be
a
live leak
though.
style. No, sorry, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
There are plenty of 3D games in Unity that are stylized 3D, and they're very, very, very performant. And then the only example I can think of that's like kind of realistic is this game called Ghost of a Tale, which is made by a former Pixar animator, and that one also runs really well. But as far as, again, like the Jimmy, what you mentioned, the sort of hyper-realistic industry pushing, like the tech demos they had, like Adam and the Heretic and all that.
Mm-hmm. Very specific use cases.
Yeah, those when we're talking that ballpark specifically, then what you're saying applies more. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to see best?
No.
Art direction.
Best mobile game is what we need to watch.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah,
I-
Diablo
Best
Immortal.
mobile game.
Did you not hear what I said?
You think
Yeah, I know,
listened
but I
you?
want to see what other people say
They got
because I'm probably going to
wait,
agree with you.
Apex Legends mobile
Unironically.
was that even mobile?
What?
I don't remember that. Apex Legends.
They had a mobile release.
Apparently,
can't find
it's in here. Apex Legends
my
mobile,
God.
Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy, which I've never heard of the last one ever.
Is the legend like how poorly it performs? Have you seen gameplay of Apex Legends on Switch?
No, but I can't imagine it's that good.
Mobile might actually be better. Diablo Immortal, we said our piece. Fun game, but the moment you finish and you hit the end cap, the level cap, I mean, just ditch it.
Look, I'm going to say that gotcha game, Genshin, addictive. Addictive.
Well, yeah, that's why it's called the gotcha game. Because it gotcha
Spoken
money,
like someone
bro.
who plays it.
I'm not admitting that I've played it, but it's addictive.
But it's addicting.
So I've been told.
No, officer, I have never done cocaine, but let me tell you, it's fantastic.
Officer, no, I spent the mortgage on my house trying to get this one girl, but I keep getting boys.
But
I'm so upset.
But officer, have you ever
Boy.
tried Quaaludes?
It's like that, but all the time.
Look,
I've heard many things about Marvel Snap. Yeah, I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say I mentioned this earlier when I was talking about all the different categories. One of them being most anticipated game. You know, I'll just like label them out. None of them came out for obvious reasons. They're gonna come out within next year, and knowing AAA games, the next 5 years. But we got Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and the second Breath of the Wild, the Tears of the Kingdom, whatever that means. And
Which came out the same day that the Queen died.
Oh.
The title announcement. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that Zelda mod. So we're look, these are all fine and dandy, and my answer definitely would be in terms of like most anticipated Resident Evil 4. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy 16, but I can't.
Ooh, best music.
Look. I like it. I'm definitely gonna buy it I'm assuming it comes out for the PC. I gotta look into it. Because I know they had that Microsoft deal with 15, so we'll see what happens to 16. No doubt it'll come out for PC. Resident Evil 4, though, I'm excited. Apart from the shit that's on this list, what is your most anticipated game like for the next year, whatever's upcoming? I gotta ask you.
Not
Here, we'll start
for
with
all of
Jules.
us. Does it have to be on this list of nominees?
No, God, no. No.
Okay, then my answer is Routine, which is a sci-fi horror game that was first announced, I don't know, like 2012.
Mhm.
And speaking of Unity, it was one of those Unity games where it's like in development, and then Unity themselves go, look at this game, look at what people can do with our engine. And then it went radio silent, and maybe that's why people hate Unity now. I don't know, because Routine looked so promising. It was lo-fi sort of Alien style horror before Alien Isolation and before all the copycats of Alien Isolation. It was just like this classic Aliens, Ridley Scott vibe. But like a brand new IP with a brand new universe, brand new enemies, etc., etc. And me, at the time that was announced, I had just finished playing Dead Space 2, so I was all about sci-fi, horror. And then it just went radio silent for like more than a decade.
Mm-hmm.
A little less than a decade, around a decade. And then it came up this past E3, not E3. It came up and I popped off. That is my most what the fuck moment of this past, whatever you call it, E3 2022. I was never expecting this game to see the light of day. In the same way that none of us were expecting to see Dead Island 2, which, by the way, little bit of a tangent. Guess what?
What?
It's been delayed again.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh. Can I go next?
About 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So
go for it, Rojo.
Quickly.
My
Briefly.
most anticipated game is not necessarily a game. It is a series of games. It is which Dead Space clone is going to do the best between the next Dead Space, the Callisto Protocol, and like there's another two games that I can't. Yeah,
Fort Tharsis.
I don't know what happened like probably a year ago during the development cycle, but like everybody decided they were going to make a Dead Space game, and I'm really interested to see which one lives up to being the next Dead Space.
Well, seeing the leak for the new Kojima game, it seems like Dead Space isn't the only game that every developer wants to fucking make. It seems like everybody wants to make a Silent Hill game because that shit straight up looks like Silent Hill 2. We can talk about that later because I'm still interested in going along the lines. Soy Boy, what are you most interested in seeing come out?
I don't really have anything, to be honest. I mean, like, all the games yeah, I mean, at this point, I just look for a better Destiny experience. At this point, besides that, not much.
I didn't know if I played D1.
I didn't even want to hear that. Those words come out of your mouth.
I don't care what you want to hear.
A better Destiny experience? Go outside, touch grass.
Have you seen that video, by the way, of the kid who was like outside touching grass, and then he transitions and he's touching the screen to Destiny?
No, that's funny.
It's just really funny. See if I can find it. I'll send it.
All right. Well, I have before I tell you what games I'm most excited for, as if it isn't already obvious, I do have a doozy to throw out there. I want to make a correction. Final Fantasy 16 will not be on the PC or Xbox Series S, X, fucking sex, but it will be. So it'll be coming out the summer of 2023 for the PS5. It is a PS5 exclusive. And when pressed on it, Square Enix says, we do not have any further information. But as according to the Video Games Chronicle, which came out in November 7th, we're in the 17th, it will be an exclusive for 6 months, meaning that Xbox and PC will have to wait until 2024 for Final Fantasy 16 to go out of the fucking PS5, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's the same thing that happened with
3 did the same thing for Epic.
It's the same exact thing that happened with goodness gravy. Nier Automata, Final Fantasy 7 remake. You just wait long enough. I mean, especially with Nier Automata. Holy shit, that took a while for it to come out to like the Switch and other stuff. You just gotta. It's a waiting game because games are so expensive now. They're so expensive now to make that. There's no way. There's no way that they have the initial. Even if it's Sony, they don't have the initial funding to keep that shit exclusively on the PS5. It's just so much money. Games cost like $300 million now. Well, here's what I'll say though. The ones that are most obvious are what's pretty much on the list. It has to be Final Fantasy 16. I won't be able to play it to 2024, but everybody that's with me, raise your hands in the air, raise your fists, punch the sky, and punch yourself because we don't own a PS5. Resident Evil 4, absolutely, I gotta play it. I feel like I'm one of the few people that will not play or replay Resident Evil 4 before the remake comes out because I just want it to be its own thing, and I feel like all I'm going to be doing is comparing it and going, the Granados were better. I played it all the way back when I was like 10 years old. I'm just going to wait. Silent Hill 2. I know I shat on it. I spent a whole 40 minutes shitting on it on our episode. We had a dedicated episode just reacting to it, and then another dedicated episode just me fucking being upset. So there's that. But I will say I will buy it for the PC. I can't say the same thing what I was just saying about Resident Evil 4. I will compare the shit out of it. And I can't help it. I'll try not to, but it's so ingrained in me, especially where I'm at today. Like today, Junior, today, I can't help but like compare the two. So I will buy it though. And lastly, I just got to double check in case it already did come out, because if it did, I am buying it right now. It's a doozy. It is Dragon Quest 3, the HD 2D remake. Bet you didn't expect that one, right? So it does not have a release date.
I didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have a release date right now. The closest I have ever come to playing a Dragon's Quest game wasn't even Dragon's Quest. It was one of the very first JRPGs that ever came to the Xbox 360. It was called Blue Dragon. And I know they're not related, but one's definitely based one's definitely like not a spin-off, but like a continuation in a way, at least like the soul of it from Dragon's Quest. And you can say a lot of shit like comparatively to other games, but Dragon Quest has made a resounding like, oh my god, impact in the games industry. Just look at Yakuza 7. Like that game is just one big love letter to Dragon's Quest. But 3, just to fact check here, 3 came out a long time ago. This was like the I think the NES era. Just to make sure, Dragon Quest 3 came out in 1988. Oh my god, that is so that's no bitch. Dragon Quest 3 is jeez, what system did it even come out for? Yeah, the NES, 1988. So the 2D remake is an HD 2D remake. It has the most interesting like a lot of people had shit to say when Octopath Traveler came out, and I can't blame you. It's very like it, specifically if you've seen any footage of it, it's very like FOV. There's so much like blurriness outside of your field of view, and that's just a stylistic choice, and I like it, and it works in Octopath, but it doesn't have to go to every other game. So they're tweaking it and making things look better with Live Alive and Triangle Strategy and seemingly Octopath Traveler 2. But Live Alive is so interesting looking. It blends in 3D and sprite-based work like so well. Everything I'm seeing, the characters don't get lost in the sauce. Hello, dear God. They don't get lost in the whole, I guess, the world that you're experiencing. And I don't know. I'm interested. I would like to see it. But there is a but, and this is gonna upset a lot of JRPG fans. I'll only play it if there is a mod that will just let me skip the gameplay. I can't play turn-based. It just doesn't sit well with me anymore.
Did I ever? I showed you Child of Light, right?
Yeah.
The Ubisoft game, written by the dude who wrote Far Cry 3.
Yes.
If there was ever a turn-based game that I could come back to and enjoy the gameplay, it's that. Yeah. We can. That's a bit of a tangent, but long story short, it involves other factors besides turns, including a timeline where you can slow down and speed up your allies and enemies, and that fundamentally changes what a turn even means. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I can't do turn-based combat anymore.
The big factor there is anymore. I played a shit ton of it when I was a kid. Trust me. I played so much of it. But it just doesn't, it's not that interesting to me anymore. I don't like grinding. I don't like turn-based. It's not my thing anymore. So if there is no way to skip it, I know Final Fantasy has had some options lately of like, or at least items, back in the day when you think of Final Fantasy 16, you can just straight up just skip all of the random encounters. That's a big deal. I can't. It doesn't work. So if there's no option with Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, I'm just gonna watch it as a YouTube video and la-di-da. That's it. What would be a good? I don't know. What are you guys thinking of talking about? What do you think? What's on your minds?
Well, hold on. I realized something. I remember there is a game I actually am hoping to come out, but not necessarily because I want to play it, but I want to see if it's gonna get if it's better than the previous game, and that's Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh,
I don't know if that's ever gonna come. I don't know if that's ever gonna come out. I don't know if that's ever gonna come out, but
the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 was literally like a terrorist attack in Shibuya Square, but in like the real world. I don't know what plot you're expecting to cater to that.
Soy boy.
Which is crazy considering Kingdom Hearts 3.
You've watched the trailer. You haven't already made up your mind.
I haven't watched the trailer yet. I don't know anything about it.
He's already made up his mind. He's going all.
Oh my god.
No, I actually never watched the trailer.
Can't be stopped. Oh, good. Keep it that way.
Yeah, I want to be completely virgin when the game comes out, and then I'll just I'll see.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a sequel to 3. Do you remember 3? You remember everything you told me how about you felt about 3?
We don't talk about 3.
Rojo.
Exactly.
Rojo and I found this incredible
3?
timeline of all the Kingdom Hearts games and like their names. It's so insufferable.
Oh yeah, it's the Domi system.
Kingdom Hearts like 360 divided by 2 days 2.5 HD remix. I want to
kill my
English. It's so funny. I have to admit, but the best thing about it is just all the names for all the different games. It's so stupid. I love it.
1.5 plus 2.5 HD remaster.
You know, at some point, I swear to God, at some point, one of the next Kingdom Hearts games is just going to have the name of a whole ass other game in there.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Elden Ring, yeah.
Which was just Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah. I don't know.
Besides that, no.
It's not for me.
I know. That's not
we'll
for
see.
You.
I like the graphics upgrade. For what it's worth, I remember back in the day, IGN did a comparison between Toy Story 3. No, it was Toy Story 1. It was Toy Story 1, the original film, compared against the same scenes in Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts completely smoked them. Which makes sense because it's like the benefit of, 20 years?
Yeah, honestly, bro.
Even still, it's not even remotely fair, but I just thought it was cool seeing all these classic Disney films not made into stupid live actions, but rather like up-resed, polished, cleaned up, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's one thing it's good for.
I just wish they go back to the good old Kingdom Hearts 1, 2 edgy moments. That's all I want in my life.
Well, if you're so inclined, I think those are available on modern platforms. So you can get them on PlayStation.
Shut your mouth.
I'm telling you, where do you get your crack?
Yeah, he doesn't want it.
Crack.
Well, I remember because I know the games are on Epic, but before they were on Epic, I basically would like reinstall and install the PS2 emulator, and then just get the game and then just play it for a little bit, and then uninstall because I was out of anger. I'm actually doing it, like going through it. I would just delete it, and then I was like, man, I kind of miss it.
Hey, you know what? That's actually a good topic. I was wondering about this before, but you just resurfaced it. What's a game, and this goes for all of us, what's a game where it's like you remember it very fondly, and it's not even like roasted in glasses, like you are genuinely sure that it was actually great and timeless, and you pick it up and you just hate it. Or even worse, you convince yourself, I know it was bad, but it couldn't have been that bad, and then you go back and you find out that it's the worst game you've ever played, even in this year.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's
it is one of the worst games I've ever played, but I love it with all my heart. I love it and hate it.
I feel like you spent too much money to not like it at this point.
No, I don't spend too much money. I spend too much time on it.
No. You buy every single expansion, right?
I'll kick you from the skull right now.
Answer it.
Answer
you
the
staring
question.
into a mirror, soy boy.
Soy boy. Tell him what you bought when you got your first big paycheck. Tell them.
No.
Tell them what you
get
bought.
called out.
You got your first real job, your first big boy paycheck. What did you spend it on?
I'll say it if you don't. You better say it.
The $100 Witch Queen expansion.
Oh my god.
He's sick.
But let me tell you, Witch Queen was very worth it. That was some of the best expansion they've ever released. I don't want to hear
Soy boy,
shit.
the base expansion was worth it. the $40 base expansion. What do the other $60 do for you?
Not a lot of them, being honest.
Got me Discord clout.
Well, at most it saved like, I don't know, $10-$20 I would have spent otherwise, but not much because it also pays for the seasons. But I don't like.
You know how I saved money on Destiny 2?
You don't play it.
Yeah, I put that.
I was gonna say
dumpster fire.
There was 2 weeks in this season when you were like, man, I'm playing this again, and then
it's my turn.
And then you send me a message 2 weeks afterwards. Yeah, I deleted it again. I was like, what the fuck?
You know, the worst part is that that's happened at least a couple times.
If we're ragging on Soyboy for this, I'll rag on Jules for this too. Like there would be times when I was living with him where I just see him nonstop play Destiny, and I'm like, I thought you hated this game. He's like, I know, but you know, Destiny 2, not Destiny 1.
The average Destiny game, I was like, yeah, this game sucks. Yeah, I spent 1,000 hours on it. What's up?
Yeah, I spent $1,000 on it.
I think no, actually, I was buying everything because right now on Steam it's free, but when the game came out, it was on Activision Blizzard. It was on the Battle.net thing, and I bought it.
I did too.
I don't remember.
It was good then.
What was the price? I don't even remember.
It was a full price $60 game.
Was
I got
it.
It was
okay. So I think
fine at
with
launch.
that, and then I bought Curse of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and then Witch Queen, and then I also bought Lightfall already. So that's in total 7 expansions plus the game. Yeah, I probably spent over $500 at this point.
Oh god.
Oh no, I'm doing quick math here. I can't.
Jesus Christ, he's definitely spent more.
Maybe.
Soyboy, if you instead of Lightfall, if you want to get your Cyberpunk City fix, you can just play Stray. It's a game of the year contender.
You know what's funny? I actually have been thinking about buying that game. I was like, man, what would it be to play like a pussy? But I don't know if I'm really ready for that.
Yeah, and you said it just like that in your head while you were playing your 50th match of Crucible in Destiny 2, I bet.
I don't play Crucible, you know this.
That's probably why I picked it up and I quit so fast, because I only ever play Crucible in D1 and D2 when it came out. That's all I ever played.
It's coming back.
And it just pisses me off. Like a new update?
Yeah, well,
don't do this to me.
No,
actually, on second thought, Soyboy, don't say anything.
No, we'll start this right now. That's fine. And season 19 is gonna be litty for PvP.
Wait, are we seriously on season 19?
Well, it's season 18 currently.
Oh my fucking god, Jesus Christ!
To be fair, it should be they're longer seasons. It's just that they didn't start doing like this the season battle pass thing until what was it Forsaken?
You know, Destiny and Final Fantasy.
I don't remember.
For what?
For the battle pass, the battle pass thing they did.
Oh, they restructured their entire system around Shadowkeep.
It was a Shadowkeep, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Destiny and Final Fantasy are the only 2 games I can think of that have the unique problem of having really ironic names. Because Final Fantasy never fucking ends, and Destiny hasn't gotten to the Destiny part yet. So take that as you will, but at least D1 had a sense of finality because the story was so garbage that you were never invested in the story in the first place.
I'm pretty sure they were gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, we'll cut our losses and make D3. But then I think it was Activision that was like, yeah, how about you suck a cock and keep working? And they're like, all right. And then they just never made it. And then now they're just saying, fuck it, we spent too much time in D2. I think at most they'll finish the light versus dark saga in D2, and then maybe they'll make D3 at some point after that.
Bungie's already reported to be working on a brand new IP.
Well, yeah, but we're nowhere near the end of the fucking
of Destiny
of Lightfall, the light versus darkness saga. What?
I got a level with you, Chief. Nobody else has been able to fucking answer that question Jules has asked, which was, what game did you come back to that you liked but you don't like anymore?
Okay, hold on. I think Soyboy had a really valid, very
Jim.
valid answer.
AKA Destiny 2.
But if your answer is so funny too, then by all means share it with the class.
Yeah, I hated Dark Souls 3. No, I'm kidding. No, my answer is my answer is any of the Dragon Ball games. I mean that wasn't Budokai Tenkaichi, like Dragon Ball. God, what was the game? Shit, what was it called? The ones that came on the Xbox One.
It was
They're
that bad,
Xenoblade? No.
Dragon Ball.
on the Xbox One.
No.
What?
I don't know.
Cameo?
No. Xenoblade's for the Xbox. I think the most recent ones. No, I'm talking about the I think the Xenoverse 1 and 2. Xenoverse 1 came out in like 2015. I was like 16 years old when I was playing it. I remember being like, whoa, finally, the definitive experience. As if we didn't already have the definitive experience years ago on the PlayStation 2. I've come back to it. I played the second one, Xenoverse 2, and I didn't like it much. that was my big thing.
Was it a situation where you knew it wasn't as good as you remembered, but you still told yourself like, oh, surely it's like, there's something redeeming about it, and you just like force yourself to sit down and
every single
play it,
time I
and you
play
hated
Dark Souls 3.
What is it with you and Dark Souls 3? Dark Souls 3
I
is
don't
good
like it
as
that
hell,
much.
man. I like it more than Dark Souls 1.
I don't like it that much,
Fighting.
and I like Bloodborne, but I know I'm not good at it. I just love Dark Souls 1 to my core.
I don't like Dark Souls 3, and that's why they should remove from every single store.
Correct.
And they did they stop selling it? No, they that was the whole thing. Do you guys remember? All the online modes for Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 were taken down because of those hackers, and then they brought up Dark Souls 1 Remastered, Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 1 Original is down forever.
Yeah.
Down bad.
Well, you just can't buy Dark Souls
Down
1
tremendous.
anymore unless you have a copy like I do.
But a lot of people did have a copy, and it's donezo.
Yeah, it's gone forever.
Which
Fuck
blows.
you, go home.
Actually, thinking about it now, I actually do have an answer for that question. But that's not a funny one, but it's actually a real answer. And for me, it had to be Infamous. The three. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
What?
No, here's the
One or
thing.
two?
Here's the thing.
You want to die?
The trio games that I played growing up was Kingdom Hearts, Infamous, and Devil May Cry.
Infamous 1.
Yeah, Infamous 1.
And Devil May Cry, which one?
And 2. Devil May Cry, I mainly played the third one.
Good.
I remember playing the third one a lot.
Continue.
I played the second one a little bit. So I beat all those games obviously as I was like 7 or 8 or whatever. I don't remember what age it was, but I beat those games, and then years later, I think it was it was during college. At some point, I was like, man, I kind of want to try Infamous again. And Jules had given me his copy for Infamous. He gave me a couple of games.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Uncharted 1 and 2 and Infamous
Yes,
1 and 2.
exactly. And I was like, oh man, I kind of want to try Infamous 1 again because I had a blast when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I played it, and I was like, man, I don't know what kind of crack I was smoking, but I wasn't having as much fun as I did as a kid. But I think maybe it's just because I was a different gamer at that point, and I wasn't the same as when I was.
Yeah,
a kid.
you played Destiny 2
now.
Yeah.
Gamer journey.
He's like, well, I can't pay $500 for this game? Nah.
I don't know. There was something about it, man. I just couldn't get into it.
I have an answer for your initial question, Jules. And it's actually a game that you recently paid to buy, knowing full well that it was a bad game, and I knew it was a bad game at the time. Sonic Unleashed. Because don't do this. No. Because out of the Wii Sonic, the Sonic during the Wii era was pretty good. Like Sonic Colors was pretty good. There were some games that were pretty bad, like whatever the secret
Sonic
ring.
and the Black Knight and the Secret Rings.
Yeah, those were kind of bad.
Yeah. How dare you?
Kind of.
But
the theme songs were incredible.
I had the idea in my head for the longest time that Sonic Unleashed, on the Wii at least, was a pretty good game. And then I saw you replay it, and I was like, I must have been smoking crack. Because that game's not.
Did you have like this massive sort of like retcon moment where it's like, wait a second, what was I playing?
Now, you've heard of Sonic Unleashed. Have you heard of Sonic Frontiers, though?
Yeah, people actually like it.
Yeah,
people actually liked it.
They really wanted to.
So far
game.
On Steam, it's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, because they're so happy to have like a 5 out of 10 Sonic. It sounds good. I watched the actual.
They're so happy to have
gameplay.
a Sonic Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I mean, as derivative as that reveal trailer was for Sonic Frontiers, the game does enough to stand out on its own. It's an open zone game. That actually really hurt.
What I meant, but It was something like a slur, I think. I'm not sure.
Would you describe this?
Derivative is not a slur. What are you talking?
What would you describe this as the first Sonic type game?
Sonic type game. Wait, also,
Yeah,
I posted a video
Laugh
of the
it up.
kid touching grass and going to Destiny in the chat. Watch it real quick. It's 5 seconds long.
Okay.
That is pretty funny.
Sorry, but can you recite the entire URL of that for our audio listeners?
I will never do that to you.
That's
actually-
stupid. I hate this.
//www.tiktok.com @
My hand's not even in the same
video.
place.
No, you just need to read the title, bro. Goofy looking on
Bro, goofy looking on.
That's gonna help.
It's still a good video.
3,000 hits. You search that up.
You do actually.
God, my answer was also going to be Destiny 2, by the way. Now that I think about it, because I didn't have an answer when I asked it, but now that I really think
realistically,
about it,
let's be honest with ourselves.
it's
But don't worry,
inevitable,
it'll be
yeah.
good again for maybe 2 weeks.
I keep downloading it, thinking that maybe one day they'll just port the entirety of Destiny.
Oh,
1 into it,
CS:GO.
and they never do.
CS:GO.
No, I like that
how
better.
fucking dare
I don't
you?
know how I
Get
feel
out of
about
this
that.
chat right now.
No, CS:GO, because every single time I re-download it, I play with people who still play CS:GO, and I get placed in the most disgustingly sweaty fucking lobbies known to fucking mankind.
Bro, what are you playing, Master Guardian? Get the fuck out of here! You're playing Silver. No one there is
No.
sweaty.
We're
Damn
playing
fool.
ESCA.
Oh, that's a problem on its own. That's you going out of your way
Is
to
that-
eat shit, dude. Okay?
Because that it's either playing that with my friends because they need a fifth, or playing with randos, and there's no in between.
Yeah, that's fair.
Rhinos can be fun.
I mean, I just don't play. I only play. I play normal CS:GO, but I play with my friends because that's what they also played. So I don't have to do shit like ECA. Fuck that.
Is ECA like the super competitive
Yeah.
whatever?
It's you know how competitive it is. You have to download another launcher.
You have to download a
Oh
different
my
launcher to
God.
actually to get into ECA specific servers. You have to do. I have another launcher to play it. It's dumb, and then you play against actually the sweatiest people in CS:GO history. It's bad.
Well, that sounds really horrible.
But
fair enough. Fair enough.
Like back in 2012, that was the most fun I was having. For a shooter
Well, that
type
says
game.
more about you.
Well, because it was the only thing my computer can run.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? I remember your old laptop.
Yeah,
Can you play Payday 2 as well?
I barely. That was like
Oh.
the limit.
Fair. I was in the same situation. I had like a really
Absolutely.
crappy computer, and I played Payday 2 at like 800 by 600. It was amazing.
Trying to think of other games that I revisited, and I was like, wow, this is actual dog shit.
Well, we can chew on that for a little longer, but the last question I do want to ask is first of all, a super quick sort of PSA. The Game Awards, and this is for anyone listening as well, the Game Awards will be happening December the 8th. We are going to try to do something on that day or the day right after, December the 9th, and that's a Thursday and a Friday, at least here in sort of like America time. So
America.
yeah, I guess the final question I wanted to leave off with
Who
is,
has the biggest dumpy? Me, little bro.
Me.
and immediately after that, do you guys think Stray will win Game of the Year?
Probably not. I'll be honest, probably not. Because as we know, the collective gaming community is inbred. But
No,
I
wait,
feel
no.
like they will. No, I said it.
No. So wait, do you know what won Game of the Year last year?
I actually don't, bro. You think I know that answer?
Takes two brain cells. That's right.
It takes two.
But yeah,
It
but that
takes
was.
two.
I mean, that was still a good game.
It was a good
So
game.
is Stray.
So is Stray.
Well, yeah, but
if we're going off the
but-
criteria of it being a good game, then I think Stray has a. Good
But
chance of
here's
winning.
the thing. It's one of the reasons I feel like it's not gonna win it is because like God of War Ragnarok just came out and people are just overshadowing Stray with this game. Like that's still fresh in their minds as opposed to Stray that came out a couple months ago.
Okay, but have you considered that when you're playing Stray as the cute kitty cat meow meow with the fluffy paws, when you step in puddles of paint, you actually leave cute little paw prints all over the floor? Have you considered that? I don't think you did.
Have you considered that you said that as an actual sentence?
Yeah, well, I played the game, so I think I'm in the position to be able to tell you that the cute
hell
little
up,
pitter-patter of the kitty paws make the cutest goddamn sound you've ever heard, and if God of War gives me one more fucking hint, I'm gonna throw that game in the fucking trash and reinstall Story on both my PC and my PS5.
You know what's funny? As earlier when you were talking, I saw a video that was someone complaining about the same thing. They're like, "Can God of War stop solving my goddamn puzzles?"
I love that it's this power fantasy of being this, like, the God of War, and people are getting frustrated. I say people like I'm not part of it.
Like, I don't know much about God of War. I mean, I played the first one a little bit. I mean, not the first one, but the one that came out last year, was it? The one for the PS4. I forgot.
2018.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
But how much of it is like actual puzzle solving? I guess is the.
It's the exact same amount. So okay, this is the part where I foreshadowed where I like actually kind of give more detail on God of War. God of War is many people have described it as being ultimately both games are a whole product in the same way that the original trilogy of Star Wars is a whole product that you watch, all three films, or Lord of the Rings, you just watch all three films. It's kind of pointless to pick a favorite one. And so far, I'm near the end. I'm like maybe 5 hours away from finishing. And I do feel the same. There are just some differences, like the obnoxious hint system and the atrocious user interface, that kind of sour the experience, at least for me. As far as 2018, it was about the same amount were puzzles, but again, the difference was that the hints were nowhere near as obnoxious. They happened every now and then, but it was so few and far between that, like, it wasn't even a point of discussion. No one brought that up. But in God of War Ragnarok, it is pervasive.
No. You know what the solution to this is? Just play it on mute.
God of what? God of what? God of what?
I mean, that's what I'm doing right now.
I mean, can't you? Yeah,
Why?
couldn't you just turn out the voices?
Yeah.
Like in
Can
your
you
head,
just turn
obviously.
off all the audio?
Yeah, I could.
Idiot.
I could fucking
Get right.
Stray Game of the Year. Okay. Well, I hope that we can all get together about. Let's see. The episodes for this are bi-weekly, but that stream will happen as soon as we possibly can, as we can make it. So,
I mean,
yeah, I think we're gonna do another.
It's gonna be like a little special episode, right? So it doesn't.
Yeah, well,
right? Okay.
we're gonna, and this goes for the audience, we'll probably do, or keep up with our routine, bi-weekly for I Can't Believe This Is a Podcast, and then whenever the Video Game Awards stream hits, we're either gonna do it day of, as it happens, or immediately the day after, where all of us will watch like a video on demand, and then we'll post it up on YouTube as quickly as we can. That's the plan.
Okay.
Solid.
Till next time, though.
And, yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'll catch you guys in about 2 weeks.
Yep. Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ah.